to Group G we go then, to a match between Gary Anderson and Ryan Joyce. Well, Gary Anderson, a two-time runner-up here at the Grand Slam, 2011-2018, made the quarter-finals last year, and it sounds like he's got some support in the crowd as well. He's had a good year, picked up a couple of Pro Tour titles, one on the Euro Tour as well, but can he do it on a big TV stage? Well, he takes on Ryan Joyce first in this group, who's appearing here at the Grand Slam for the first time since 2021. That year, he did make it out of the group, so looking to do that once again over the next few days. To guide you through our second match of the night, then I'll hand you over to Mark Webster and Stuart Pike.
Fantastic atmosphere inside the arena here, the Aldersley Leisure in Wolverhampton. I've just seen James Wade beaten. What could Ryan Joyce do here against Gary Anderson, who has been in tip-top form? That's some stats, isn't it? He has been banging in the big numbers on the Pro Tour, but really hasn't risen to the occasion of the big TV stages this year. We're expecting him to produce big things, but this guy is very good. He's a tricky customer, isn't he? Had a great run at the Grand Prix.
59.
Without doubt, one of the most difficult players to beat on the circuit.
Yeah, an awkward opponent. And
140.
you've only got to ask the likes of Rob Cross, Nathan Aspinall, people he beat in that run to the semi-finals. It took an inspired Luke Humphries to stop him, but don't think this group is as clean-cut as Michael Van Gerwen and Gary Anderson getting through. Ryan Joyce, a solid performer and brilliant on the doubles. He gets the opportunity, he rarely misses.
Yeah, this is Group G, along with Michael Van Gerwen and Noëlin van Leuven, who we'll see a little bit later on.
99.
Gary Anderson only missed the Grand Slam on one occasion, which was a couple of years ago, and he's quite vocal actually. It was refreshing to hear him say, look, it hurt him to miss that event, never failed to get out of his group. So that's how a steady performer is, and he said in his pre-match interview that it's his favourite tournament.
Yeah, he refused to go to the qualifiers. He said, I'm not good enough, but he's going to go for the ball here. And that's vintage Gary Anderson to open us up with a 12-darter and a 121 on the ball to strike the first blow.
Break a throw for the Flying Scotsman. And I mentioned that Euro Tour win this year, his first win on the Euro Tour in 10 years. He hasn't played a great deal of them over the past sort of 5-6 years. But that's what got him in the event. And he's made a bright start here, Gary Anderson.
140.
Well, it was that Euro Tour win that got him in the Grand Slam. And as it turned out, because of Mike De Decker winning in Leicester,
140.
and of course Jermaine Wattimena and Richie Edhouse qualifying from the European Championship in Dortmund, Anderson was actually the last confirmed qualifier, wasn't he, before the actual qualifiers, if you know what I mean. He was the last name on the team sheet, and the likes of Damon Heta and Chris Dobie, who run Pro Tours galore,
140.
missed out.
Yeah, Johnny Clayton missed a Pro Tour as well, and it was tough on them three players who were in the provisional spots going into the Grand Prix. And they can feel a little aggrieved. They've just got to use their spare time wisely this week as a big end to the year, and they could still make a massive impact, those three players we mentioned.
Anderson couldn't see a way there to the treble. He wasn't taking any chances with Joyce
90
on 244, so safely leaves tops.
Yeah, it was just the correct way to go for Gary Anderson. Doesn't need to bring the ball or double five into play. Ryan Joyce, way back, he likes double tops, and you'd expect it to be 2-0 from here. Switch to double 10, and it is 2-0. This is a confident start from Gary Anderson. Doubles his lead and consolidates that break of throw.
Let's go back to the point that we're making, that when he missed out, he refused to go to the qualifier because he didn't think he was good enough, and he should be in it because he didn't qualify automatically. And I suppose that's
57.
typical Anderson, isn't it? He can be stubborn, but he made that call, and it's still here his 17th Grand Slam of darts.
96.
A record he shares with Michael van Gerwen and James Wade.
Well, the positive of not qualifying for that event 2 years ago, everything he wins here in terms of prize money's profit.
134.
Not defending prize money, so it should be going up the rankings this week, Gary Anderson.
$59. $45.
Brilliant grouping from Gary Anderson, sadly all in treble 5.
Joyce needs this leg. He doesn't like that lie either. He has found a bit of room to the right. He's done well to get through there. You know, Ryan, ideally, if he misses the treble 20, will want to be below the wire. But he did find a way through there. And
95.
important leg for Ryan. Can't afford to go down a double break in a race to 5.
$90. Gary required
Kissed the wire, didn't it,
170.
on the inside. Already taken out a ball finish.
I'd expect the second one. Oh, here we go. Gary Anderson, 170, and he can get a second ball finish, but it's some
Ryan
effort.
requires 60.
Relief for Ryan Joyce, but he's got to hold his end of the bargain here and pin this double 8.
Game shot on the third leg.
Wow,
Ryan
last dart in
Joyce.
hand, big relief
Following
there
is Gary
for the
to
big
throw
man
first.
from Newcastle. How close was Anderson there to a 170?
180.
Fills it up. Still only 2-1, despite a huge disparity in the averages. 113 Anderson, 90 for Joyce.
Gary just taking the flight and not the dart then.
140.
Ryan should have asked, I'll have the 60. Yeah, Gary Anderson needed to find a break. He's got it. He's just got to defend his throw now, and he's doing it in some style here. Unlucky with the deflection there.
That was in, wasn't it?
$60.
Yeah, big numbers from Anderson. He's been producing that on a regular basis all year.
128.
Average of 114 and a half.
$57. Gary requires 70.
Gary Anderson lost out in the quarterfinals to Luke Humphries last year in an epic encounter, 16-14. And grabs a 3-1 lead here. Yeah, came through his group in second spot, a group that featured Dirk van Dijvenbode and Steve Lennon. And then put in a brilliant display against Gedwin Price to tee up that game with Humphries.
I'll tell you what, though, that game against Luke Humphries in the corners last year, it was as close, really, as Humphries came to losing. 16-14, wasn't it? And it was a fabulous game.
Yeah, Humphries, it was 10-8 the round before against Ryan Searle. He did his battles there, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then he, on the final day, when you play the semi and the final, Humphries just had too much. Yeah, Anderson opened up a decent lead in that quarter-final as well. But Humphries found a way, and we all know what happened in the coming months. Went on to be world champion and world number 1.
Ryan Joyce, one of the 8 qualifiers, PDPA qualifiers. Robbie Knopp, Rob
60.
Grundy. Big win over Damon Heta, who was highly fancied to qualify and then beat Nick Kenny in the final qualifier.
139.
He's got to try and hang on to the coattails of Gary Anderson here and hope to get a bit of change on the Anderson throw.
117.
Anderson wasn't bothered about leaving 166. Steady on, Gary.
126.
112.62, the Anderson average.
And the double breaking coming here And an opportunity then to wrap up the game 5-1, and legs are important in this format. And he pins the tops. This is clinical. 113 average, 67% on the doubles. Anderson throwing to wrap up a convincing victory against a really awkward opponent.
Well, this is as good as we've seen so far on the opening day of the Grand Slam. .115.65. It's going to be right up there with one of the best averages in, certainly in the group stages, certainly in the tournament.
Doing it in some style.
140.
That's the second time he's hit 5 big darts. 116.67. This is sensational from Anderson.
93.
This is Anderson putting down a marker.
77.
Unlucky with the bounce out there, but he's well in command of this match. Highest average in a group game is from Michael van Gerwen, 115.19.
That was one match done.
Ryan Mackay, 128.
Yeah, that was against Joe Cullen in 2021. Anderson looks like he's going to fall short of that, but it's still a brilliant
88.
display.
Gary required 40.
What a performance from Gary Anderson. That has put down a huge marker to the rest of the big names in the Grand Slam. An average of 113.2, 5 out of 8 on the doubles. That was vintage Gary Anderson. He wins 5-1. Coming up next, Dimitri van den Berg starts his Grand Slam bid against Lawrence Olagan.